MMA was the kind of girl that made men forget their way home. She was born and raised in Nsukka, a small but lively town in eastern Nigeria. From the time she was a teenager, it was clear that God took his time when creating her. Her body was shaped like a woman who had been sculpted by the gods, her skin glowed like fresh palm oil, and her smile could make a grown man stammer. Men loved her. Women envied her. By the time she turned 20, her name was on every tongue in the village. Everywhere she went, men rushed to help her, whether she needed it or not. Market women dashed her free goods just so their sons could have a reason to talk to her. Even married men lost their common sense when she was around. At first, her female friends admired her beauty. They laughed with her, praised her, and even claimed to be happy for her. But deep inside, jealousy was eating them up. They saw how their boyfriends looked at her, how their fathers and uncles smiled too widely when she spoke. It was frustrating, and just like that, the admiration turned to bitterness. At first, it was small talk. Nothing serious. MMA is too beautiful for this village. She's lucky. Oh, see how men rush her. But soon, the whispers turned ugly. That girl is not just lucky. She is using her body to get all these things. She sleeps with men for money. MMA is nothing but a prostitute. The rumors spread like Harmattan fire. Suddenly, women who once called her friend started avoiding her. Mothers warned their sons to stay away. Some men, who once adored her, now looked at her with suspicion. MMA had everything. She tried to ignore it, but how do you ignore a whole village that has already made up its mind about you? Then, December came. And with it, a new chapter in her life. Chukwudi was the first son of Chief Okeke, one of the wealthiest men in Nsukka. He had been living in Lagos for years, making money and building a life. Every December, he returned home for Christmas, and this time, he noticed MMA. But unlike the other men, he didn't just see her body, he saw her. He saw the way she carried herself, the intelligence in her eyes, the quiet strength in her voice. MMA, let me take you away from all this nonsense, he said one evening, his voice filled with certainty. And just like that, he did as he said. Their wedding was quick. Some said it was love, others believed it was Chukwudi's way of proving everyone wrong. Whatever the reason, MMA became his wife and followed him to Lagos. For the first time in her life, she felt free. No more gossip. No more side eyes from jealous women. No more whispers behind her back. But MMA was about to learn that a woman like her, beautiful, desirable, and married to a wealthy man, would never truly be free. Lagos was different. The men there were not like the ones in the village. They were richer, more powerful, and more dangerous. They saw MMA, and they wanted her. Some were subtle, others were direct. One man, a close friend of Chukwudi, was the worst. He tried everything: expensive gifts, late-night calls, even promises of business deals. But MMA refused him at every turn. Rejection, however, was not something powerful men handled well. So they planned for a payback. One evening, Chukwudi received a message. It was a video, grainy but clear enough. In it, MMA was seen entering a hotel with a man. The message came with a note: "She is still the same girl. You just married a prostitute." Chukwudi's blood boiled. The rumors from the village echoed in his mind. He rushed home, sweating uncontrollable with thoughts ranging through his mind. On getting home, he confronted MMA with the pictures and videos. "MMA, tell me the truth. What were you doing at that hotel?" She swore she was innocent, that it was all a setup. She explained her own side of the story of what she went there for to do. It was just a business meeting with a fashion designer, that someone must have staged the video to make her look like she is cheating, but the husband couldn't believe her words. But doubt is like a small crack in a wall. Once it starts, it spreads. The fight started. Chukwudi became cold. He stopped eating her food. He stopped looking at her the way he used to. The love in his eyes turned into suspicion. One day, without a word, he packed his bags and left. MMA sat in their empty house, staring at the walls. She realized that no matter where she went, whether in the village or the city, people would always have something to say about her. She had tried to escape the gossip, but the truth was simple. In a world that judged women for their beauty, she was always going to be guilty of something. But MMA was not one to stay down for long.